Hello, everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to the 19th race of Season 6 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I'm Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the PlayStation 500 at Denver Motorsports Park, as we're getting set for 26 laps of racing at this 2.3 mile odd track, I must say. It's like a combination of a restrictor plate track and Michigan, California, something like that. But I am not alone. For the first time in about 2 long years. Please welcome back everyone's favorite commentary duo along with me. First and most importantly, please welcome Mr. Dylan Jacobs, a.k.a. Kamikaze Games.
Oh man, I is here.
And also joining us is everyone's favorite irrelevant douchebag. Please welcome Raphael Leduc.
You're and dumbass, Leviathan. Fuck you and fuck this series and fuck this racetrack. When can we go to a real racetrack? Actually, I'm really happy to be here and be back here in the booth with the real voice of the Marvel Studios Cup Series, which is Kamikaze, and the irrelevant douchebag known as Levi McIntyre, who pretends to run the series.
Oh, of course, shots fired. But in all seriousness, we're all good pals. We just love to take the piss out of one another because, well, if anybody who's watched this series from the beginning should know that anytime the three of us are together, well, comedy ensues. And I feel like today may be no different. So, without further ado, before we take a look at the starting lineup, as per, let's take a look at the point standings coming into the race today. So, after Daytona recently, Rob Evans still leads the points by 14 points over Jessica Shelton. Third, Jonathan Zorline. Fourth, Dylan Poteet. And then fifth, James McLeod. Sixth, Cole Deaver. Seventh, Trent Dunham. Eighth, Jake Baskinger. Ninth, Matt McIntyre. And then 10th, Caleb Kilburn. So, still a long way to go, and now we are beginning the second half of the season. And keep in mind, remember, no chase this season. It's all about who's the best of the best the entire season. Right, Dylan?
Oh yeah.
And so far, the guy that leads, his name is Bob Evans. So does he own the chain of restaurants too?
Oh, good lord. Well, it was bound to happen. It was bound to happen.
Hey, I'm just saying, Bob Evans, you can't go wrong with some Bob Evans out here in, in Denver.
Yeah, true. Bob Evans is pretty good, I will be honest. Well, depending on which Bob Evans. But anyways, before we make a bunch of people hungry, well, then again, we are in Denver where weed is legal, and I guarantee you that the crowd is all high on the sweet Mary Jane and are probably craving some Bob Evans. I don't know. But
well, let's just hope David Hoots didn't get into that, so the race is going to be fine. At least I hope.
Yeah, one can hope, right? But let's take a look at the starting lineup, and oh, good lord, the last row. A lot of feminists are probably going to come out saying, oh, you have the women starting last. Hey, calm down. It's all random. I can't control this shit. But starting in the last row. Shut up, Leduc. Stop revealing my secrets. But in all seriousness, so starting last, in the last row, we have Jessica Sheldon and Melissa Alexander. Top 10, Logan Bradley is on the pole for today. Starting next to him is Seth Cole. Row 2 will comprise of teammates Carson Gum and Jake Baskinger. Row 3, Jake Rogers, Dylan Jacobs. Row 4, Jordan Forbes, Charles Sanford. And then row 5, Caleb Kilburn and Michael Norman. And by the way, I keep forgetting to mention, Charles Sanford is one of the biggest Dylan Jacob haters out there, so this is going to be awkward. But,
well, fuck you, Charles Sanford, you stupid motherfucker. Why the fuck do you hate this guy? This man is entertaining. A lot more entertaining than watching fucking Anaheim sports. More entertaining than listening to you fucking go off, pretend you're fucking Sports Center every fucking time I was in TeamSpeak. Kamikaze Games is the future of entertainment. WWE should take notes from this man to improve their product. I would watch Monday Night Raw with Kamikaze Games on commentary over Michael Cole. I can't wait to hear him say, it's the big dog in his bombastic own way. And I don't know what else I'm saying right now.
I
So
don't
let's just
know
get this shit going.
I don't know what's going on, but anyways, let's get the command to fire engines for the PlayStation 500. I about said Pepsi 400.
Drivers, start your engines!
Well, there's the command as we await the drivers who are slanted to the side to come out of pit road to get this pace lap underway. So with this racetrack, I mentioned at the start, this racetrack is very, very odd. It's plenty wide open, but they still will slow down quite a good bit in the corners. So like I said, this track is sort of like a hybrid of Talladega and Auto Club, I want to say, or California, excuse me. Screw Auto Club. It's California, and it always will be to me. But nonetheless, I feel like it's a hybrid of both of those tracks, but drafting still plays a big factor, especially considering we are actually using the restrictor plate package that we used at Daytona, Talladega, Bermuda, among other racetracks. So, any predictions going into this race? We'll start with Mr. DJ Dylan Jacobs, blah, blah, blah. As long as he's not high on shrooms over there.
Oh, dude. I have no idea what to expect. This should be something else.
Alright, Mr. Marijuana himself, LeDuc.
Well, man, they put the restrictor plates on, and I'm not sure what that's going to do. I hope they go super fast, and I hope we get a lot of wrecks today.
And we're underway, as already cars almost going 5 wide here at the start, so a little reckless, but, oh, I forgot. Oh my god, that 78 car is losing ground! What?
Okay, you do a bad drug addict impression.
I know. That's because I've never done hard drugs in my life, so I wouldn't know.
All right, so here they come to turn 3, which is the most dangerous turn in Kentucky, so I don't know how it is in Denver.
But already here at the start, Logan Bradley's gone off to a bit of a slim lead over Seth Cole, but wait until we start getting into a longer period of time in this race. We're going to start seeing, and already, look at that move on Seth Cole. He didn't even have any help whatsoever and just managed to somehow squeak by the 90 of Logan Bradley to take the lead, but Logan Bradley still led that first lap, and now Logan Bradley might lose more spots maybe, because here comes the 77 of Jordan Forbes, in which, reminder to those who aren't aware, that next season, no Toyotas, it's only going to be Chevy versus Ford. It's basically going to be like a manufacturer's civil war kind of thing next season, and the 77 and the 78, which are going to be the only teams, wow, I feel like I am high on cocaine at this point. The only two, oh, and the caution is out. What in the world happened? Oh, a couple of damaged cars. Joshua Collard, Anthony McCurry, Melissa Alexander, and maybe even Jessica Sheldon got involved too.
Of course, now you made the women wreck, you sexist fuck.
Fuck you.
So, if the 78 and the 77 are not going to be trying Toyotas, what is Dylan Jacobs going to do? He's a Toyota lifer.
Well, funny you mention that, as I was trying to say before I screwed up, and then the caution came out, I was trying to say that the 77 and the 78 will be going to Chevy for Kamikaze Racing next season, which is a natural progression considering, well, that team was Chevy before it switched to Toyota, so there you have it. But the caution has just come out for the first time here today at Denver. Let's take a look and see what did bring the caution out for the first time today here at DMP.
Kermit D. Frog here with the post-crash report. This 87 car of Jay Jefferson, he takes a really deep dive into the final corner here. He's all the way off of the track. And as you watch this, here comes the 61 of Anthony McCrory, and they're just going to make a little bit of contact here. That's going to send the 61 into a dead spin and bring him back up the racetrack. Oh, man, guys, this is a big wreck. Here comes them guys back up the track. Oh, I'm scared. Oh, big contact back there. Oh, that's the 6 car going around. And hard impact on the outside wall. What a rough crash for these guys early on in this Marvel Studios Cup Series race. This has been Kermit the Frog with the post-crash report sponsored by Aunt Jemima. Back to you guys in the booth.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Kermit. So, yeah, basically a very well detailed analysis of everything that happened. But let's look at it one more time. But I feel like there's going to be a rivalry for the rest of the season because watch the 87. He goes up, turns a little bit too much to the right, turned dead right into the quarter panel of McCrory, and that's what's going to start all this. So the 61 might want to pick a fight with that 87 after this race. So I don't know, maybe McCrory will pull a Kevin Harvick and wait for him after the race and jump over his car and get in his face. I don't know.
Well, I have breaking news here that the 87's crew chief has been asked to the NASCAR hauler to discuss with Brian France something about drugs. So that has been announced. The crew chief of the 87 has been called to the NASCAR hauler.
Oh, good Lord. But anyway, so that was a look at everything that happened. Let's take you to the restart here at Denver. So as expected, 3 cars were retired out of the race after that first caution. Joshua Collard, Anthony McCrory, and Melissa Alexander. So we're down to 37 cars on the racetrack, and when we get back to the green, it will be 20 laps to go. So the trying to do a full field rundown before we get to the start-finish line to get the restart. So Seth Cole is the race leader. Second is Logan Bradley. Third is Jordan Forbes. Fourth, Caleb Kilburn. Fifth is Carson Gumbs. Sixth is Trent Dunham. Seventh, Jake Baskinger. Eighth, Charles Sanford. Ninth is Cole Deaver. And then 10th is Benjamin Miles. 11th, Dylan Jacobs. 12th, Jonathan Zorling. 13th, Jake Rogers. 14th, Michael Norman. 15th, Rafael Leduc. 16th, Robert Bob Evans, apparently, according to Leduc. 17th, Emmanuel Hardnett. 18th, Dylan Young. 19th, Chris Dollarton. And then 20th, Tim Fiegel. And then the rest of the top 30 is Phil Parker, Dylan Pote, Johnny Gardner, Cole Baker, James Qualls, DJ Curtis, James Shelley, Joey Parkhill, Zachary Fitzwater, Bradley Zordrager, and then the rest of the field is Joshua Sekuli, Cody Lamas, James McLeod, Kyle Matthews, Jay Jefferson, Matt McIntyre, and Jessica Shelton. Green flag is back out with 20 laps to go.
Matt getting a good restart here, holding off Logan Bradley so far. Let's see if Bradley tries to make a move and get to turn 1. So far, he's staying put. We might have a freight train here, ladies and gentlemen.
But right now, Seth Cole's still holding him off. But yeah, we got a little 5-car breakaway, although that's going to get broken because Jordan Forbes went up to the high side looking to get a run, but doesn't make it stick. As here comes Caleb Kilburn in the 99, who's one of only 3 drivers so far this season to have multiple wins, currently at 2, and he came into this race 10th in the point standings, so he's definitely looking to try and move his way up into the points, as now this pack is starting to get bigger, as more and more cars have caught the top 2, as Logan Bradley's actually going to take the lead back, as he actually had a little bit of drafting help from his teammate, Caleb Kilburn.
This could be interesting here when the more cars join bigger packs. This can maybe force people to go 4 or 5 wide, and that's when you get the wrecks. So you need to be careful.
Jordan Forbes actually lost a couple of spots ever since the restart, but it looks like he's trying to gain ground back. Actually going to go to the middle to try and take spots. This is an interesting move, going through the middle to take positions.
Oh, they're going to be 3 wide. This could get interesting.
4 wide, actually.
They're going to go 4 wide.
But
And
they
there's
keep
that
it together.
That 78 might try to make it 4 wide again. He's coming in there.
But they
Might be a tight
somehow, someway
squeeze.
make it stick. But right now, it's still Logan Bradley, Seth Cole dominating this race, at least for now. And then you got Kilburn and Trent Dunham, 2 drivers in the top 10 in points, trying to battle amongst themselves. As the 99, it looks like whenever we get to 3 and 4 right there, cars that try to go to the outside might get a little bit of a run, but we'll see as Trent Dunham actually now has draft help from Baskinger, and he's going to take positions. And wow, look at Trent Dunham take like 2 spots right there in 1 pass.
Yeah, and he's around the back bumper of the leader, so he might try to make a move there. He seems to be trying to itch his nose down low.
And remember, this is Trent Dunham's farewell season in the Marvel Studios Cup Series, so he's definitely wanting to end his Marvel Studios Cup career on a high note.
Oh, he almost looked like he almost looked like he was loose, but he saved it.
Yeah, it's like in 3 and 4, it's all about a battle of throttle control, depending on like how much drivers get out of the throttle and then get back in, and that's how they get the runs. As Trent Dunham now has a run to the inside of Seth Cole. Can he take the lead coming off of 2? I think he's going to easily get that spot now.
Yeah, but look out for that 54. That 54 is going to maybe try to join him.
Yeah, Jake Baskinger, who is one of only a few drivers this season to have yet to score a top 10 this season. Or not a top 10, a top 5. I believe only he, Cole Baker, and Zachary Fitzwater have yet to get a top 5, but yet Baskinger has been consistent. He's top 10 in points pretty much all season long. And this is also his farewell season as well, so...
Now, moving up, I see the race car that has moved up the pack as Logan Bradley's losing spots, and so is that 99.
Yeah, Charles Sanford, who has been struggling pretty much ever since last season. Definitely looking to try to get some momentum going, but yeah, Mr. Jacobs, so what are your thoughts on how the racing has been so far here at a relatively strange racetrack?
Yeah, strange is one way of putting it.
I
don't know, man.
I think he's still
These guys
high on
are all over the place, right? I mean, look at the... Well, I mean, they're single file right now, so it looks kind of bad, but at the same time, like, these guys are moving up through the field. Like, they move back, they move forward. There's a lot of fluidity going on here. I think just about anyone in the top 10 could win.
I think he's still high on shrooms. After all, we are in Denver, so...
Yeah, he sounded a little bit tired when he first talked. Are you okay over there, Dylan?
No, I'm definitely not okay.
Well, I mean, then again, we each have taken some crazy kind of shit. Like, LeDuc's on the classic dank kush, and I'm on the... Well, I was on the cocaine before I somehow sobered up, if you can even sober up from that garbage. And Mr. Dylan is on the shrooms, and they taste juicy.
Hey, Tony Montana could sober up when doing mounds of cocaine, so...
Yeah, good.
But anyways, in seriousness, so Trent Dunham barely hangs on as Benjamin Miles into 22. He's entered the picture, as now he might actually get a run underneath Trent Dunham, or does he not? Nope. Trent's got too strong of a race car to pass right now. As we actually just got past the halfway point. I completely forgot about that.
Race is just flying by, man.
Yeah.
It really, really is. But now that we are past halfway, I'm going to try and do the best I can to do a full field rundown to see where everyone's currently running once we get across the line here. And it'll be 12 to go here in the PlayStation 500. And currently, Trent Dunham leads the way. Second, Benjamin Miles. Third, Charles Sanford. Fourth, Seth Cole. Fifth is Jake Baskinger. Sixth is Cole Deaver. Seventh, Logan Bradley. Eighth, Raphael Leduc. Ninth, Kyle Matthews. 10th, Dylan Young. All the way down on the apron. What in the world? But I guess it's been paying off for him because he's been able to gradually climb his way up through the field little by little using the apron. So it might be a good strategy on his part, but maybe not for everyone else. Trent Dunham's still hanging on, but Charles Sanford actually, just as I was going up through the top 10, he actually got a run underneath of Benjamin Miles to take second. And now he might have a run on Trent Dunham to get the race lead. Didn't lead that lap quite, but now he's going to have that run going into turn 1 here.
Those Chevys are being strong today. That one and that 03, both Chevys been doing pretty well. And we have also Fords up in the front. Toyota doesn't seem to have a big presence in the top 10.
Other than Jake Baskinger and Dylan Jacobs, yeah, not a whole lot of Toyota's been running strong here.
The Camrys are struggling here, but hopefully they can adjust, maybe with pit stops later on, and maybe make a charge
if we get pit stops.
Ooh, that's a juicy turn of events.
Yeah, if somehow these drivers don't have to pit and just run the whole 26 race without going into the pits for tires and fuel, that's going to be really, really interesting. And actually a little tandem forming up here. Cole Deaver in the 8 pushing the 98 of Seth Cole, but wow, they got really slow in the turn 1 there, and LeDuc just goes right by them with ease. Rafael
the power
LeDuc.
of Jimmy Johnson is with me here today. I shall win this for Lowe's.
And Rafael LeDuc came into this race 27th in points, so he'd been up and down this season. Right now he's having one of the more bright spots so far, and look at the run he's actually getting. Holy cow.
Man, don't tell people that put my Sunoco fuel.
Charles Sanford actually got to the race lead. I didn't even notice that. But now side by side with Benjamin Miles on the inside, but trying to go there by himself may not be a smart decision considering the draft is still a huge factor here. But now he might make it work. As I guess it looks like in 1 and 2, if you're on the outside lane, you got to let off the throttle a lot more than the cars on the inside. And that's how the bottom lane really kicks in 1 and 2.
As you see, the 54 and the 09 have joined up together. Might be a good tandem draft to try to get the lead here, but now they separate as the 03 and the 1 are also somewhat trying to work together. That 22 is going to have to be careful.
Yes, he is, but anyways, let's get a little word from Kermit the Frog, or Kermit E. Frog, about any updates from the garage about if the 61 of Anthony McCurry has said anything about waiting for the 87 after the race.
Oh man, guys, Kermit the Frog here. I'm in the back in the garage here, and I'm actually outside of the 61 garage area. And these guys are just, you can just see the disappointment in each and every one of these members' crew members' eyes. They're just waiting in the wings for this race to come to an end. I bet you we're going to see a scrum down here when things are said and done. Back up to you guys.
Thank you very much, Kermit.
Right.
But we got a new leader. Jake Baskinger now takes the race lead as he's looking for his first win of the season. But look at Rafael LeDuc with a huge head of steam on the bottom. Just imagine if that was the finish. That would have been the best finish of the season by a country mile. But now here comes...
We can't do good things because this is NASCAR.
But anyways, here comes LeDuc's teammate Kyle Matthews, who we haven't talked about all day long. He somehow found his way up here to the second spot. He's been gradually moving up through the field, and we haven't noticed. Same with Dylan Young. A few laps ago, he was 10th, now up here in 5th, and most of the time he'd been on the apron trying to make passes.
It's interesting. The retro motorsports cars have all somewhat been in the top 5 besides the 02 of Jessica Shelton ever since she got caught up in that wreck.
And the 70 of James
race.
Qualls as well. We haven't seen him up here all day either.
So LeDuc, Sanford, and Matthews having good races today, but let's hope they can keep this good race. Sometimes on these speedways, teammates race each other a little bit too hard, and that's when wrecks happens, and then that's when scrums happen in the back, and that's why we have Kermit the Frog here, who is a valuable member of this team, and I want people to know and how much we appreciate his contribution to the broadcast.
All right, let's actually...
straight up the bit.
Anyways, let's get a little word from Morgan Freeman. Any updates on the 78 of Dylan Jacobs?
I'm afraid, guys, the 78 car has just not been good all weekend long. They have tried everything that they can to get this car working right. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to find a way to... He's getting close, though. Approaching the end of the race, he's found a little bit of speed, running some better lap times. As he moves his way through the field, we'll have to watch.
Thank you, Morgan Freeman. And all of a sudden, we got a 2-car breakaway up here at the front. Holy cow, that's a tandem if I've seen one. Teammates, Rafael Leduc, Kyle Matthews, working together in a tandem draft to pull away from everyone behind them.
This might pay off. This might be a good thing for both of them, and it might also be bad. You got to be careful when you separate too much with the field. You think you got a good lead, you try to make a bad move, and then that's when things go sideways. So they're going to have to be careful here as Kyle's going to try to make a move for the lead.
Yeah, this might actually help to bring the rest of the field back up to the top two now, as Kyle Matthews, who he himself has had a abysmal season 6, and he's trying to finally get his first win this season, and he might be able to make it happen, but still hasn't quite cleared Leduc. In fact, Leduc's still right there. I wonder what's going to happen going here into turn 3. Which lane's going to prevail? Right now, it's the outside lane. But let's see what happens when we come off of 4. Leduc still carrying momentum on the outside. It looks like the outside lane's going to prevail.
Yeah, that Leduc powered that Chevy through that turn, that '09 low Chevrolet. He powered it through that turn, and as you said, throttle control seems to be a big factor in those turns. Maybe if you let off a bit off the throttle, sometimes it's going to help. But if you lay down the throttle and keep the car straight, it can help as well. And it seems that he just powered through that turn, as they still seem to have a good lead over the rest of the pack. Jeez.
Yeah, last time by, it was about a second and a half between the top two on back to third and the rest of the field. But you got to wonder, because we are getting closer to the end here, will this tandem last? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how these two are going to race each other. And we got a glimpse of it the previous lap. They were side by side throughout the majority of the run, and now Kyle Matthews trying to run the bottom again to try and get the lead for himself. And they actually got a bigger gap, over 2 seconds now, separating the top two from third on back. As Kyle Matthews, can he clear Leduc this time off of 2? And
He will. He got it.
oh, he's not going up to clear him, and Leduc, he's got that momentum again. Matthews, if he had just pulled up in front of the '09, he would have had him, but he left that lane open.
Yeah, well, that's the thing when you're teammates, you got to be careful. You want to race for the win, but you don't want to race dirty. And this is what's fun about NASCAR. Unlike other sports like Formula 1, team orders don't get involved, especially when it's a team that hasn't had a win this season so far. I think the team owner of Retro Motorsports might get on the radio and tell the drivers, have at it, gentlemen.
Well, then again, Jessica Sheldon, who owns a team, she actually has won 2 times, so there you go. Anyways, white flag is out, and it's all or nothing between Leduc and Matthews, and Leduc actually now has pulled away a little bit from the 42. The 42 of Kyle Matthews going to have one final shot going into turn 3, and he's closing. He's closing a little bit.
This might get interesting.
Can he make the move on the bottom coming off of 4 going through the front stretch? Can he make it? I don't know. He's trying, but I think it might be too late, or he might have timed it right. Checkered flag waving. Too close to call, but I think Leduc got it, and indeed he did. Checkered flag. Rafael Leduc wins the PlayStation 500 at Denver by 4/100ths of a second.
Yeah, good job, team. In-car radio crap. But hey.
Second race in a row, we had a great finish. Daytona, we had a solid finish. This time, teammates fighting it out for the win. And, wow.
Yeah, that's going to help Leduc, whose season has been somewhat bipolar. So hopefully this helps him kick off maybe a good string of momentum as we are halfway through the season. As Michael Rooker said in the NASCAR on NBC commercial, the second half is where it gets good.
And as the drivers are coming into the pits to put their cars into the garage, and I believe Jay Jefferson, as soon as the checkered flag waved. I don't know, let's see if we could see his car. Yep, there he is. We'll wait until he gets into his stall to see what's going to happen. Is the 61 of McCreary going to come find him in the garage? All right, now that... Oh, and a little scrum between Sheldon and McLeod on pit road there. Maybe they didn't like the way they were racing each other. But Mr. Kermit Frog, any updates? Has there been a fight between Jefferson and McCreary?
Well, guys, nothing's going on down here, but you can definitely feel the tension in the air, waiting for the 87 to come in. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. He's getting out of the car. Oh, McCreary's on him. Oh, my goodness. Fists are flying over here. Jefferson is punching him in reverse. This is very interesting. I don't even know how he's doing that, but wow, this is, oh, man. Oh, blood everywhere, dude. I'm getting out of here, guys.
I don't blame you.
Kermit the Frog saying, dude.
But anyways, so Dylan, you haven't said much this broadcast. Are you sobered up now? Are you okay?
Oh no, I'm not okay.
Okay, he'll recover whenever we get out of this godforsaken track. But anyways, so
The hunt for a real racetrack is complete. We have found a real racetrack, ladies and gentlemen.
oh, of course you would say that.
Hey, let me have my fun. I won the fucking race.
And speaking of the race, let's actually look at the rest of the top 10. Kyle Matthews made the run or the move for the spot a little too late. If he had done it about 2 seconds sooner, he probably would have had a shot at it. But still, a great day for Retro Racing Enterprises, top 2 with LeDuc and Matthews. Benjamin Miles gets yet another solid performance in the 3rd spot. Trent Dunham looks like he might actually move into the top 5 in points as he finishes in 4th. And then Dylan Jacobs finally gets his first top 5 in quite some time, finishing in 5th. Logan Bradley, the highest finishing rookie, in the 6th position. DJ Curtis, solid run in 7th. Seth Cole, who was pretty much top 10 all day long, finishes in 8th. Caleb Kilburn, wow, look at that, $9.99. Where's the WWE Network advertisements? Good Lord. So he finishes at 9th, and then Bradley Zorgdragger rounds out the top 10. And then there's your top 20, your top 30, and then the bottom 5 who aren't getting points this week are Cole Baker, James Shelley, and the 3 cars that were wrecked in the early part of the race. Joshua Coward, Anthony McCreary, who got a little retribution at Jay Jefferson for what happened, and Melissa Alexander for the 2nd race in a row ends up getting bottom 5. Tough break for her in that Zev Bellringer gorgeous car. Oh. Anyways, before I grow a stiffy, we're going to end this broadcast. Thank you guys so much for watching the PlayStation 500 at Denver. I'd like to thank Mr. Raphael LeDuc, Dylan Jacobs, Morgan Freeman, and Kermit the Frog for stopping by. Okay. Okay. I see how it is. I see how it is.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to leave you hanging.
It's okay, Morgan. It's okay. You see, I win the race, and I'll even get an interview after the race, like how I feel about the win and anything. I see how this series is done. I'm not happy right now, so I'm just gonna go home and eat some shrooms.
Wait a minute. Actually, I think I got voices in my earpiece telling me that Kermit the Frog has returned after that scrum happened with McCreary and Jefferson.
Are you sure that's not the Coke speaking?
The Coke is too strong with this one that he thinks he's Kermit.
But I think no, it is confirmed. Kermit E. Frog. I'm so messed up right now. Kermit E. Frog has returned from that battle and actually is in victory lane talking to LeDuc right now. Let's take it to Kermit.
Oh man, guys, here he comes. Here comes the driver of the 09 car, and here he comes. Oh man, look at the celebration taking place. Oh wow, there's Monster Energy going everywhere. Raphael LeDuc, you just had such a great race today, and you barely fought off Kyle Benjamin for that win. What you gotta say for the wait? No, not
Kyle Benjamin.
Kyle.
Well, Kermit, if I knew what Kyle Kermit was, I'd say it's pretty well.
Hey, Kermit, it's Miss Piggy! His name is Kyle Matthews, you stupid idiot!
Ladies and gentlemen, this will be my final broadcast. Kermit the Frog is signing out.
We didn't even get his whole interview. Oh, God.
Well, thanks, Kermit. As Kermit the Frog walks away, now as Miss Piggy is beating him with her purse as they walk away. I just want to thank my teammate Kyle Benjamin Matthews. I think that's his new last name, and I want to thank this whole team for sticking with me. And I want to thank the Marvel Studios Cup Series. I want to thank Lowe's, and Monster Energy, and finally got a win here, which was good for us. We've been struggling this season, but it's good to finally get a win and hopefully get some momentum to head towards the end of the season. So. And I want to end this interview by thanking Kermit the Frog for all his hard work for this series and how he's given us great insight on battles on the pit road. And he goes into danger, and he represents all that's good with the Marvel Studios Cup Series. So thank you, Kermit the Frog, for all you've done.
I think Kermit, after he got smacked in the face by Miss Piggy, I think he's gone into hiding. But anyways, before my guts explode, here are your final results, rookie points and regular points heading into our next race, which will be Old Spice. And this is Levi McIntyre signing off.
Wait. I don't know if this is the drug speaking to me, but after Kermit's little incident, he's taking a bit of a leave, as you may have guessed.
Of course.
But if this isn't just the mushrooms telling me this, right? There's a voice in my ear saying, there's a new broadcasting partner.
Oh boy, who is it?
And is Big the Cat.
Oh God.
Oh crap.
Oh boy, guys. I'm so happy to be joining the broadcast team.
Wait, is that Big the Cat or is that Kyle Busch?
I heard both of you.
Anyways, before we just descend further into madness, we'll see you next time. This is Levi McIntyre signing off, and I hope that I'm not dead before the next race from laughter.